Imagine this. You're driving alone on the highway in the middle of the night, fuel tank almost full, stomach empty, and at a rest area in the middle of nowhere, someone is waiting for you, but you can't see them anywhere.
Real horrors.
I'm a long-haul truck driver. That night, I was running empty, heading back after dropping a load. It was around 3 a.m, that kind of hour when not even the radio helps, and sleep starts to hit you. The GPS showed mile after mile, with nothing important around, just forest and darkness on both sides of the road. I saw the blue sign, rest area, 1 mile. I thought it was perfect. Quick bathroom stop, stretch my legs, and maybe a cold coffee from the machine. I left the highway and pulled in. The place was completely empty. No cars, no other trailers, not a single cab light on. Just the white streetlights shining over the parking spots and the bathrooms in the back. I turned off the lights, set the brake, and sat there in silence for a moment. You couldn't hear anything, not even crickets, just that electric buzzing from the streetlights. I climbed down from a truck, closed the door, and, without knowing why, I felt like someone was watching me from the trees. I went to the bathroom, washed my face, did my business, and stepped back out into the cold air. As I walked back to the truck, something caught my eye. A small shadow in the distance, moving quickly between the streetlights. It looked like a kid. My blood ran cold. "Hey!" I shouted. "You okay?" No answer. The shadow was gone. I climbed into the cab, shut the door, but I didn't start the engine. I just sat there, staring through the windshield. Each streetlight lit up a perfect circle of empty concrete. I stayed like that for a few seconds, until I heard 3 soft knocks on the passenger door. Tap, tap, tap. My soul dropped to my feet. I leaned over a bit and saw, pressed against the glass, a small hand. It was a child's hand, thin, dirty, resting on the window. The light from the street lamp made it hard to see the face. I lowered the window just a little, barely a crack. "What are you doing here at this hour?" I asked. The voice that answered did not sound like a child's. It was very low, almost a whisper, like it was coming through a tunnel. "I'm lost. Will you take me home?" The hair on my arms stood up all at once. Something was wrong. That voice wasn't coming from the height of the glass. It came from lower down, like it wasn't coming out of the mouth, but from the chest. "Where are your parents?" I asked, swallowing hard. Silence. The boy lifted his head, and then I understood why I couldn't see him clearly. He had no eyes, just 2 black holes where there should have been a shine. And even so, I felt like he was looking straight at me. I rolled the window up in one go, yanked the passenger curtain shut, and slid into the driver's seat almost without breathing. I put the key in, started the engine, and again, tap, tap, tap. Now on my door. I didn't look. I didn't want to look. I put it in first and pulled out of the parking lot, almost dragging the tires. In the side mirror, I managed to see the boy's figure standing under the light, still, watching me leave. He didn't run, didn't scream. He just stood there, motionless, until I lost sight of him. I thought it was all over, until a couple of kilometers later, already back on the highway, the CB radio turned on by itself. I had it on, but nobody had spoken in hours. the static cut out, and I heard a voice, the same low, distant voice. "I told you, I'm lost. Why didn't you take me?" I almost let go of the wheel. I slapped the CB off and kept driving without looking at the mirrors. The rest of the night, I felt like something was sitting on the bunk behind me waiting for me to say something. The next day, at another stop, I told a couple of truckers what had happened. They went quiet, and one of them, older, said that rest area has a reputation. Years ago, a kid disappeared there while his parents slept in the car. They never found him. Since then, some say that if you stop there at dawn, you might see a small figure asking for a ride home. If you answer, it follows you down the highway. If you ignore it, it keeps knocking on the door until you leave. Since that night, I never stop at empty rest areas at 3 in the morning. I'd rather arrive exhausted at the next truck stop than hear those 3 little knocks on the door again, with that voice that wasn't from this world asking, "Will you take me home?"